Good evening, everyone. This is Bianca Pagano.
And I'm Matthew Surrey.
Tonight is Friday the 27th. The time is now 7:20 p.m., 20:47, something like that. Welcome to the fourth show of Phillipian Live, coming to you live from the newsroom. This week on the show.
Chicks. This is the third year the Biology 420 Animal Behaviors class has raised chicks, a 3-week-long experiment exploring behavioral topics such as imprinting, foraging, and spatial recognition.
A new robotics program, too. Led by Miss Artacho and Mr. Hickman, robotics is now being offered as a sport for athletic credit.
And a rundown on sports results from the past week, including PA Mia Levy representing the U.S. in the World Junior Rowing Championships, and girls volleyball continued undefeated season.
And finally, we'll welcome Sabby Clemmons, 22, live on the show. Sabby is an avid baker with her own Instagram account, at What Sabby's Baking. So stick around to find out where her passion all started.
Andover's competitive robotics club has been meeting for the past 5 years, but a new program this year offers robotics as an interscholastic team sport, counting as an athletic requirement for students. The program is headed by Carolina Artacho Guerra and Robert Hickman, and meets 4 times a week in the fall and winter term. Competing in competitions that take place on Saturdays, here's reporter Ben Fu with more on the story.
Thank you. The new Robotics as a Sport initiative was developed by Director of Academy Research, Information, and Library Services Michael Barker, Dean of Studies Clive Beckwith, and Athletic Director Lisa Joel. According to Artacho, the competitive team was implemented as an alternative to the existing club. The sport option serves to lessen time commitments that would otherwise arise from other athletics.
The reason is because if you do want to get competitive robotics that is sustainable, you need to dedicate the time and the energy and the resources of the school, right? And so it's not fair to ask students to put all of their time into academics and then sports and then extracurriculars, and then on top of it make a ridiculous commitment time to actually be part of the team.
The Robotics as a Sport program has a similar level of commitment as other team sports. The team meets weekly to design, build, and engineer robots. Throughout the year, the team will compete against other schools in the VEX robotics competition. Because this is the robotics team's first year, Coach Hickman hopes to ensure the program's success.
The goal for the first year is just to have a successful, fun year where all of these different students from these different backgrounds feel like they've been welcomed and had a contribution, and they've worked and collaborated well together, and they've had a successful experience. And I hope that we go very far in the competition cycle, but that's not the absolute goal of this first year. So I think the goal of the first year is just have a really successful program. And we're on a good start with being able to put 3 different teams in 3 different competing groups into a competition.
In contrast with the club, the robotics team has more faculty support and coaching resources. While the club still exists for students who have existing athletic commitments, those on the team will have more time and resources to focus on robotics. According to Hickman, the club and team are meant to complement each other.
The team has more time, has dedicated coaching resources, and has more resources in terms of going to competitions and building more robots. So the club still exists, and it's there. It's available for students who are unable to join the team because they're, they have a prior sports commitment that they want to stick to. So the big difference is, they have less time to build. They don't have as much direct mentorship support, from the faculty and the makerspace staff, and they won't be fielding as many competition robots as the team will be.
The team members this year come from a range of different experience levels, from beginners to those who have participated in robotics for years. However, the team's backgrounds don't just differ in experience. Club co-heads CC Son and Coach Hickman weigh in on the diversity of this year's team.
Important to me that like women are getting into STEM and engineering, and our sport team right now actually has 19 people, and I think there's one more girl than boy, so like that's already so cool to see.
It's a very good cross-sectional representation of all the different nationalities and races and genders that we have on campus. And so out of our 19 students, we have 10 girls and 9 boys. So we have a fantastic balance. That's not always found in the robotics team, so I'm especially excited by that. And we have students who come from all over the world. So to me, the robotics team that we're starting with is the best representation of what we have in our PA student body.
According to HICKMAN, the team will not focus too much on competition for the first year, but it has been successful and productive nonetheless.
I hope that we go very far in the competition cycle, but that's not the absolute goal of this first year. So I think the goal of the first year is to just have a really successful program. And we're on a good start with being able to put 3 different teams in 3 different competing groups into potentially into a competition. After that, we want to just build that cumulative experience year after year after year, where students of different skill levels are sharing with one another and teaching one another and coming up through the robotics program and gaining more and more skills and more and more understanding, more and more creativity and innovation.
Ben Fu, reporting.
Thank you, Ben.
So, the baby chickens you're watching are being raised by Andover students participating in Biology 420, Animal Behavior. By raising a chick, students actively learn about imprinting and other animal behaviors. Here's live associate Shara Wolpowitz with the story.
Hi, I'm Barton, and this here is my chick, Cluck Norris. Hey, buddy, here you go. We've had these chickens now for about a week and a half. We take care of them, we mother them basically, they learn to imprint on us, and yeah, we've had them for a little while now. They've grown significantly. This guy used to barely fit in my hand, and now, whoa, and now he's outgrown my hand. So yeah, this is Cluck. He's now showing his backside to the camera. There you go.
In the animal behavior class taught by Andrea Bailey, instructor in biology, students have adopted chicks for 2.5 weeks. Through this chick project, students will learn behavioral concepts such as imprinting and foraging by performing various experiments with the chicks.
So the very first thing they do is imprinting, and so they work with their chick to try to get it to imprint on them as if they were the mother. And then after the imprinting thing, we start talking about associative learning, and so then they try to teach their chick a trick using clicker training. And then after that, we start talking about spatial cognition, and that's sort of maze navigation is one way that we get at that. So then the chicks learn to navigate a maze, and they sort of figure out if they can do that or not. And then the last thing we do with them is foraging behavior. So we have the chicks sort of model foraging behavior by setting up these arenas, and the chicks sort of decide what they're going to eat, and we see if they match what we expect they would choose in those situations.
Mm-hmm. Imprinting is an intuitive process in chicks that allows them to recognize other birds or students as a mother figure. Students study imprinting by bonding with the chicks, providing them with warmth and food, and spending time with them. Students coach the chicks to recognize signals such as a red cloth tied around a wrist or ankle. Through this coaching process, students can teach their bird to follow at their side, answer to certain calls, or perform certain tricks.
Yeah, so my bird and I had a little bit of a rough start. He wouldn't do much other than sit and jump on my hands. But we started to get really close. I brought him back to my dorm one night, and we started to, he'd hang out on my bed and run back and forth. And by the next day, he was following my heel, and yeah, he was my little bird.
Personally, my chick was really lazy. So when I put it on the corridor, it just wouldn't follow me for a while. And what I did was I would turn the corner so the chick wouldn't see me. And then it starts to get a little distressed, and then I would reappear. And then after a few times, it knows to follow me so I wouldn't disappear in front of him.
The success of the imprinting process varies greatly depending on each individual chick and the student in the class. While many students were able to successfully imprint on their chicks, a few students ran into problems.
I think, well, for some of them it's the saying goodbye to your chick. For some of them it's the frustration of it not doing what you want to do or not imprinting on you the way you wanted it to do. Some of them imprint really, really well. Some of them it takes a lot longer. Some of them imprint well and then forget. I think Jess, actually, her chick somehow got switched somehow. At some point she wasn't sure that she still had the same chick. Because the bands came off of some of the chicks. But it varies a lot. It varies how much time you spend with it. And it also just varies by individual personality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes, like I said, there's been accidents in the past that can be really hard for those individual students if they've lost their chick. I mean, that's always hard if it's kind of like losing a pet.
Yeah.
We haven't had the pet very long. So all of those pieces, I think, and also just the sort of day-to-day, like chicks are smelly and you gotta clean up all their poop and all that stuff too.
Despite these problems, most students view the project as a rewarding experience, especially after seeing all of the hard work they put into raising their chicks pay off.
Favorite part would be, so there was this one project where we had to train our chicken to do a trick, and we were supposed to do that by offering them food and making them do a certain trick. So my chick didn't particularly like food. It knows how to do one trick, which is when I rest my hand like this, it's gonna run up to me and then sit on my hands. But it does get a little stage fright, so it doesn't do it when other people are around.
Probably the first time he followed me around. I think I was in Yale and I went to go walk up the hallway to get a paper towel for him, and he was right on my tail, and I turned around and I was absolutely elated. It's just really cool to kind of see all that work with a living animal pay off and have it follow me.
What's your chick's name?
I think
Bailey hopes that along with teaching students basic concepts relating to animal behavior, the Chick Project will serve as a fun, eye-opening experience for students about the difficulties of working with animals.
Well, I hope that they get the major sort of overarching themes of animal behavior, but also with this particular project, I always find that if you've got that emotional connection, you tend to engage a lot deeper. And so one of my biggest goals is to have kids engage deeper with the specific topics we're doing, and also, frankly, interact with an animal that they don't normally interact with. It's always so fun when kids get so excited about getting their own special private chick. That's a super fun part. And also, I really like the fact that students learn how difficult working with animals can be. In reality, it's actually, they don't do what you want them to do most of the time, and so that's a learning process for kids, that it's not just a cute little chick, that you actually have to work with it really hard, and it still won't work sometimes.
Both students Lou and Barden would recommend the course to other students in the future. For Leo, even though she has had much experience taking care of her younger brother, she found raising a chick especially rewarding because it allowed her to experience the unfamiliarity of working with a different animal.
Taking care of the chicken was still really, really fun because at first it's really, really tiny, so you have to deal with the fact that you are taking care of another life that is really fragile and is really needy of you. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really a really magical experience.
Probably not going to eat as much chicken anymore just because I sort of bonded with my animal. And I don't know how well I'm going to hold it. But I think the course as a whole has been really informative just in the way that we look at animals. You know, such simple beings are actually capable of a lot more than we give them credit for. You know, the term bird brain is kind of has a new meaning for me. You know, watching a little animal like that sort of learn to follow me and me only, and my classmates and them only, and to watch them imprint has just been really pretty impactful.
Okay, thank you.
Shira Wolpowitz reporting.
Thanks, Shira.
And here is this week's sports rundown by sports editor GIGI Glover.
This week, volleyball continued to build its undefeated record, securing 2 victories to bring the record to 6-0. The team defeated Nobles in 3 sets and defeated defending league champion Loomis 3-1 this last weekend. Over the course of the season, Andover has only dropped 3 games and has outscored opponents 18-3 in the team's 6 matches this season. Football faltered against Loomis and lost 18-28 for the team's second loss of the season. According to Wesley Durr at 20, the team struggled on account of the sweltering heat, which caused Andover's energy and momentum to take a hit. Field hockey has also worked to maintain its own undefeated record, blanking Loomis 6-0 to propel the season record to 3-0. According to Presley Cometa Suarez, 22, Captain Carly Kraytak, 20, and Linda Bebo, 20, were especially critical in the team's win, as Kraytak excels at getting the ball to space and passing, while Bebo stands out for her ability to gain possession of the ball and bring it upfield. Water polo tied its record to 3-3 last weekend in a doubleheader against Deerfield and Westminster. Andover defeated historically challenging opponent Deerfield 16-3 and finished the day with a 19-3 win over Westminster. According to Beckett McKee 22, the team approached the doubleheader as an opportunity for the team to play at its highest level and demonstrate its skill. Girls soccer also remains undefeated following a 3-1 victory against Loomis and a 2-0 defeat of Worcester. The team's record is composed of 5 wins and 1 tie. Liberty Stam 22 said, "Worcester was an aggressive and chirpy team. The referee let it out of hand, but through discipline and hard work, we pulled out a 2-0 win. We played as a team." Boys soccer also pulled out a win, defeating Holderness 2-1, bringing the team's record to 2-2. A notable goal came from co-captain David Wang 20, who played a long ball into the top of the corner off of an assist from Will Godbout 20. This week's issue also includes coverage of Andover alum Jacob Hudgens 19 and Mia Levy 21's success at World Rowing Junior Championships this August, held in Tokyo, Japan. Hudgens earned a silver medal in an 8, while Levy, who rowed in the stroke seat, placed 4th.
Thank you, Gigi. Recently, we discovered that Andover has quite the baker hidden among the student body.
Wow. Well, quite the cookie connoisseur, Sabby Clemmons 22 spends much of her free time filling the Bancroft common room with wafts of sweet treats ranging from mini cupcakes to brownies.
Tonight, we have her joining us on the show. Welcome, Sabby.
Sup, Sabby? How you doing today?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Dope. Our pleasure. So how have you been doing today?
Okay.
Okay, day.
Why?
Well,
Just pretty Jill Friday?
I was concussed, but now I'm clear.
Oh, how did that happen?
I took a header off a goalie punt this last Saturday.
So you play soccer too?
Yeah.
An athlete and a cook. Dope. Look at that.
So how'd you get into baking and cooking? Was it from your parents, or you just pick it up by yourself? How'd it happen?
So I kind of specified in baking since 7th grade, but I've always been in the kitchen. There's a funny story. When I was 5 years old, I wanted to try cooking in the kitchen by myself. So I woke up really early one day, and my parents were still asleep, so I sprayed Febreze, not sponsored, all over the house, so they couldn't smell cooking. Yeah, I closed the door, and then I started making pancakes. They got really mad. I was banned from even entering the kitchen for a month, but that kind of introduced me to the kitchen, and my mom realized that I really wanted to be there, and so over the years I've just been able to be in there more and more, and finally I'm independent.
And how did those pancakes come out when you were 5?
They weren't burned.
Awesome.
Impressive.
Look at that. Breakfast for the fam. So, what's the coolest thing that you did, baking-wise this summer?
This summer, I kind of interned / volunteered at this nonprofit cafe called Freedom Cafe in Durham,
Awesome.
New Hampshire. And
Wow.
I was able to bake for them treats weekly and for their open mics. So that was really fun.
Wow. That's awesome.
And
Wow.
so now you're at Phillips Academy as a new lower,
Mm-hmm.
living in Bancroft. And how's the banking experience in the dorm? How are you fitting into the new kitchen?
Well, so every kitchen has a different story. It's a different environment. So I've been getting used to it. I've baked in Miss Wall's kitchen and Miss Malik's kitchen, and so far it's been really fun. I've baked a total of 5 times in the 3 weeks I've been here. So I thought I wouldn't have any time to do any of that, but I'm glad that I do.
Wow. When do you find the time to even bake?
At home, I'm a morning baker, so 4 a.m. But
Wow.
here I can't
Wow.
do that. Here I can't do that.
Why so
I
early?
sleep in. I mean, my dad gives me a bedtime, so
Also,
have to wake
4
up.
a.m. is a
4 a.m.
good
is the
night's
best
sleep.
time. Yeah, but here it's mainly late in the evening. Not too late, but 8:30 to 10. Good time to bake.
Awesome. Well, we know that you did an interview with one of our reporters, Lexi
Yeah.
Mariano. Can we pull those up?
Sure.
Can you tell us what we were doing in these clips? What you were making?
So here I was just making a simple chocolate cake with mayo.
Mayo.
Yeah, mayo's a secret ingredient. The thing is, when you have mayo, you don't have to use any butter because it's already kind of whipped up, and you already have your eggs in there. So you get your lipids and your
Bio 500
Yeah,
vocabulary.
It's just a magical
Killing me.
ingredient. This was Miss Malik's kitchen. I'm so glad that she lets me bake there because
Where else
And
would
do
you
you like
go?
hers
Yeah.
over Miss Wall's?
I mean,
Not to be biased.
I don't
but-
think I have a bias. They're two different environments. They both have the equipment I need, which is great. Stand-up
perfect.
mixers.
Awesome.
Can't live without those.
Wow.
There I'm separating an egg.
Oh.
I separate it with my hands because eggshells can like puncture the yolk, and then it's like ah.
Tough.
And then that's a meringue. Mm-hmm.
Do you know? Is it also mayo?
No. It's just the protein structure of egg whites allow it to whip up, hold its shape, and that's a
Wow.
mousse. So
Wow.
you take egg whites, melted chocolate. It's
So you have a lot of like bio vocab in there. Are you interested in
Chem.
taking bio?
I took bio freshman year. I don't think I want to go back. But yeah, I really Magic School Bus, great place to learn. But
And so we heard that you brought some cupcakes with you to try on the show today.
yes,
Awesome. Can we actually get a reporter live on set with us to try it?
And so to guess the flavor.
Yes. Also, like, Sabby, you didn't disclose the flavor to us or anything, so yeah,
No,
this is completely new to
This
us.
is
Is there a secret ingredient in this too?
no.
So here we have-
Should we be expecting a certain flavor?
Guest Gigi Glover as our lab rat.
Gigi, can you
What are you
describe what
expecting?
it looks like? Give it a little sniff.
I'm a little bit sick, so I can't really smell anything. It smells like chocolate, and it looks like chocolate too. And it smells really good so far as I can tell.
Alright. Everybody get their cupcakes ready.
Is this a synchronized bed kind of thing?
Yeah, no, definitely. Can somebody give us a countdown?
That's really good.
3,
Alright, 3, 2,
1.
1. Damn.
It's all over my face.
That's pretty damn good.
Very tasty cupcakes.
Okay. Any
It's
guesses on the
definitely
flavor?
chocolate. There's some chocolate.
I
Definitely
can't
chocolate.
tell.
Yeah, I don't just like chocolate covered with like chocolate mousse.
It's chocolate
It's
with
like-
chocolate mousse.
Was
Correct.
that the secret ingredient?
Yeah.
Mousse?
No, mayo is the secret ingredient.
Yeah, mayo is the secret
So you
ingredient.
use mayo for these.
So-
Oh, never thought of.
What is it?
It's
Do you
extra
use
moist.
mayo with chocolate specifically?
Um,
Or just like about
no,
everything?
it's just the type of cake. I mean, if you were to put chocolate's a strong enough flavor to mask up any of that egginess you get from it. Where like with vanilla, oh my goodness, you don't want vanilla and mayo together.
Yeah, that sounds, wow, interesting.
Sounds scary. Well, thank you for having us.
This is really good.
Thank you
so
for
much
coming to on the
making it.
show.
Yeah, definitely.
And thank you, Gigi, for trying the
Thank you.
cupcakes.
How'd
and
you end up
taking the
liking
risk.
it?
It's really, really good.
You got a little. You got a little.
I know, I have it all over my face.
Thank you guys so much, and thank
Oh,
you
it's
so
in my
much.
teeth.
Thank you. Have a good
Well,
night.
thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Matt, those cupcakes are really good.
They're amazing.
They're actually really, really, really good. Okay. Well, this week in the paper, today was issue number 19, volume CXL, III, the Phillipian's third full paper of the school year. This week in news, you can read about grading disparities in the new Blue Book policies. In commentary, Jane Park, 22, writes about the language of identity. In sports, read more about Mia Levy, 21, and Jacob Hutchins, 19, at the World Rowing Junior Championships. In art, learn about Kate McQuaid's new book, Tell Me Who We Were.
As always, if you're interested in Phillipian Live or the Phillipian as a whole, come join us in the newsroom or visit our website to join. Anyone can sign up to be a writer for any section of the print paper or be a writer on Phillipian Live and go live on air to present your segment. If you're more interested in video, graphics, or live production, we'd love your help as well. Go to phillipian.net/join or email at phillipian.net for more information.
And that's all for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please tune in again next Friday for
We'll see
another
you.
spectacular show.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.